So our waxer is a really handy tool for adding wax. And how I typically use this, you don't just stick the tip in it and pull out. It doesn't get as much. Typically you can measure how much wax you want on it. I grab it this way and then roll this down to the end. And I kind of plan it such that as I'm coming in, I'm like rolling it over and getting ready. So then I can lay it where I want. The key with the wax though is it has to melt, both layers have to melt into each other. They have to become one. This cannot sit on top of this because it will crack and break off. So what this looks like is you basically grab a little bit, bring it down. Hopefully you have a plan. I just have a blank canvas here, but you lay it in and I'm actually stabbing into the purple, and then I can kind of drag this around a little bit where I want it. Just do a little heart like I always do. Grab a little more. Add a little bit in. I'm gonna kind of draw and trace where I want it to go. You'll notice a little bit of stringiness. That's the purple wax. It's just the nature of the beast. We can just pull it off later. But you can build as you go. So I can blow on this and get it to cool down a little bit. And I can grab and make this as tall as I want it to be. As long as I'm always poking into the last layer. And it does have a little bit of like edge to it. And if you kind of get off that edge, it will drip. It is a liquid, so it will act like a liquid. But you can also use gravity to your benefit. So if I kind of pull this direction, then capillary action will also kind of hold it, and I can let it cool a little bit in that position. So you kind of use gravity in the horizon to your benefit. You'll see now that's kind of built up a little more. Need a little more over here. Just gonna add a little to this corner. But this is why we have different size tips. So if you find that your blue medium tip is too big, you can go down to the red, or if your red is too small, you can go up to a blue. If the blue is too small, you can go up to a green, because they do lay it down. You can also just not pick up as much. So I usually go pretty deep because I usually am laying quite a bit down, but you can just tap it and get just a tiny bit on there. So practice this. You can kind of pick it up and then drop it back into the wax pot if you want to just practice on that. Or you can take the outside of your piece, your little scrappy piece, and you can practice on that. But try making maybe some like wavy lines, just so you can see how the wax reacts and acts. Try to make a circle, try to make a heart, whatever. But just try to kind of see what you can do with it. Play around with it a little bit before you go onto your design. Because if you have to clean something up, you want to know how it's going to act. And you'll see that it kind of plops. Kind of goes bloop before it, you know, kind of is going to go where you want it to go. So aim for the middle and drag it, and then notice it's always going to self-level. So if you don't want to glob on one direction like I did on the heart, make sure you keep it level so it self-levels. And that's how you do that.